Yeah. Sounds working? Awesome. So you can hear me? Everyone can hear me? All right. I just had to restart it.
Can you hear
Just
me
a
now?
glitch. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Can you hear us now?
But now I can't see you. I guess it doesn't matter. All right,
Matters
cool.
to me.
Now I can't see. Now we just can't see what's going on. Well, you can see them. That's all that matters.
Yeah, but what if I have a booger coming out of my nose and now I can't see it?
All right, now
Will
we
they tell me?
now we can't see ourselves streaming. So if Kara's got a booger or snot coming out or a snot booger, just let her know in the chat. I'll let you guys chat now. And Bruce Wayne's right down there. I don't know if you can see him.
Yeah, I don't know either. Oh.
I got to go to here. Here, I'll do it like this. I got you. I got an idea. I'll do it like this. I'll put Kara up here. Boom.
Look how dark I look next to you.
I'm pasty. We're different skin tone.
Can you show them your abs?
No.
No? Can I?
No.
Why not?
Because I don't have
It's
abs.
gonna bring in the viewers.
It's not going to bring in the viewers. The viewers don't want to see abs. They want to see Kara. Thank you. All right. I'll let you guys have Kara.
You just get me for right now, at least. And Bruce Wayne, he's down there in the corner. What's up, guys? Thank you for bearing with us. We've never really attempted a live stream before, so thought it would be cool to try it out. I know it's Sunday afternoon. I don't know how many of you are just kind of like getting ready for your work week ahead, but that's how I spend my Sundays, kind of just like recharging, refreshing, sometimes relaxing and not doing much. But something that's really important to me is just feeling prepared heading into my work week, which starts for Monday for me. So I wanted to kind of talk about some of the things that I do to just feel prepared to have a successful week ahead, share with you guys some tips that I utilize to kind of keep me on track with thinking about my goals and just thinking about having a solid week. I myself do work with a coach, so I do weekly check-ins, and once a week I'm assessing how did this week go. Did I do a good job with my nutrition? How are my workouts? How is my sleep? Stress management? All these things that I relate back to health, and I assess how I did and what I can do better week to week. So I encourage you guys to do the same, even if you're not working with a coach. Utilize this time with me right now to kind of check in. Feel free to ask any questions or leave some comments here in the stream, and I'll try to answer as many questions as I can, or comments, if you will. But I wanted to just chat with you guys because I haven't really been too focused on the YouTubes about like my fitness goals and stuff like that. I've pretty much just been in more of like a maintenance type place over the summertime, which has been okay. It wasn't really planned, but I had some issues with back pain if you guys have watched my vlogs. So my fitness, my training has been like a little bit kind of stagnant, if you will. I've just been more focused on feeling good, feeling functional, and feeling healthy over like focusing on getting lean, which is totally okay. But Jason and I are going to be going to the Olympia, which is now less than 3 weeks out. So for me, I do have like a little goal here between the Olympia. I've got my birthday coming up October, and then Jason and I go on vacation the end of October. So it is giving me that little bit of a dangling carrot to kind of be a little bit more focused on my nutrition and health goals. So nothing extreme for me. I'm not doing any kind of bikini preps right now, but I do just want to be a little bit more focused on feeling good in the body that I'm in overall. So sharing with you guys some of the tips for me. Number one is kind of identifying a goal and having a set timeline. And I think it's really important because there's so many of us that can just sit here and say, I want to lose weight, or I want to be leaner, or I want to be stronger. But those are super vague goals. So you need to kind of narrow down your goals and really identify some smaller goals that are going to help you get there. So for me, I do want to feel a bit more comfortable come the Olympia. It's a fitness expo. I want to feel good. I want to feel like I look fit. It's kind of a general goal, but I have a 3-week timeline for myself. And one of the things for me that's really important isn't necessarily eating less. It's not necessarily working out more. For me, I know it's just a matter of being really consistent day in and day out with focusing on getting in the right amount of protein, carbs, and fats that I need, making sure I'm getting the exercise that I need, and being consistent with it. So for me to be consistent, because consistent is still a general goal, right? So when I think about what prevents me from being consistent, I think about some of my triggers that may kind of derail me from my goals. And for me personally, that's stress. And sometimes that is during my work week. For me, weekends are usually a really kind of relaxing, easy time for me. But it's during the work week when I start to feel bogged down with too many things going on, with just too much, and I get stressed out at work. That's when I can easily be like, I don't care about my goals. I don't care about looking leaner or feeling better. I just care about, kind of fulfilling this stress, if you will. I guess that kind of comes from emotional eating. I can be an emotional eater when it comes to stress. So that's something for me I've identified. So in order for me to prevent that, to prevent going into that stressful eating scenario, emotional eating, something that helps me during the work week, number one, is being prepared and planned with all my meals. That's like number one for me. I don't know about you guys. For those of you that do work day jobs, do you guys pack meals with you, or do you just like purchase food when you're there? I don't know why it says ghost in the comments. Why is everyone writing ghost in the comments? Is there a ghost in the room? I'm so confused.
Why?
Because 3 people wrote ghost and then said that was creepy.
Oh, the door.
Oh. You guys are freaking me out right now, okay? I do believe in ghosts. That was you?
No, it just opened.
It did?
No, I didn't have it closed.
Okay, a little bit creepy.
You got Bruce Wayne behind you.
It's a little creepy.
He's probably just as scared.
He's not protecting me, he's just sleeping. Come on, man. Come on, bro. You're supposed to bark. Anyway, so for me, making sure I'm prepared for the work week. So taking the time to actually have food prepped, cooked, ready to go so I bring it with me to work. Sounds simple, but I don't know how many times I race out the door in the morning. Hey Jay, the computer battery's low. Says your battery's running low.
I wonder if it came unplugged. It came unplugged.
Yeah, let's plug her in.
Maybe that's why the audio wasn't working too well.
It could be.
Is it good?
It's plugged in now.
We have all these technical issues, people.
You guys are awesome for bearing with us. Alright, so I digress. So yeah, just making sure I have meals planned out for the work week. And it's really important for me too to not just like grab what's there or what's in the fridge. It's important for me to bring food with me that I know is satisfying, that I know tastes good, that fills me up, that gives me energy. So that's number one, is making sure I've got food planned for the work week and that I have enough food with me too, because I commute, I tend to run errands after work, and that can set myself up too when I'm just not like thinking proactively enough for what my day really entails. So that's kind of step number 2 for me, is laying out my week. Kind of old school planner, let me show you. These are lifesavers for me. Like, I know everyone uses their cell phone nowadays, but having a planner where I can just look at the week, I can write it out, what days I have what appointments, what things do I have to do after work, and really kind of think about what I need to accomplish in the week. it not only helps me feel more organized, but even if I have the craziest week, there's something about getting it written out on paper that makes me feel more organized, and I'm better able to adhere to it. So that's just me. I'm always going to be old school. Write it in a planner. I like crossing stuff off. It makes me feel good. It makes me feel like I'm kind of reaching my goals and staying on track. So that's number 2. With the planner and kind of setting myself up for a successful week, I like to identify what days I'm going to the gym to work out and what days I'm going to take as my rest days. That may seem like a given, but there's many of weeks that I go into them with no plan, and whatever day I just oversleep ends up being my day off, which is okay, but it never feels good because it's not planned. So bringing me back to feeling organized, being able to be consistent, kind of having things laid out, better planned and scheduled. I'm just not the most organized person on the planet, and I think a lot of times that does derail me. So keeping organized with things. Oh, hey, John Lee. Thanks for showing up. Hey, thanks for saying hi to us in Destiny last weekend. That was really cool. Jason and I were in the mall last weekend here in Syracuse, and we had a couple people come up to us and say hi, which was really cool because we don't usually get recognized. So that was really cool. Thanks, John. Awesome meeting you. But yeah, so I like using a planner that helps me out. So if you're someone like yourself, like myself, who just needs to feel more organized with things, then get a planner, write it down, map out your week, maybe map out your month. I always feel better. I'm constantly writing to-do lists. It's what keeps me super organized with my day job, with my work job, and with my clients. I just have multiple to-do lists everywhere. Crossing things off keeps me very organized. The other thing I want to say too about staying on track as you're approaching a new week is don't set yourself up for failure. So many of us, look, you guys, it's good to have big goals. It's good to aim for the stars. But at the same time, when it comes to weight loss and health and fitness, set one small goal. Look, I know you want to set your sights high. You want to be the weight you were in high school, or you want to bench press such and such pounds. But look at where you're realistically starting from and set one small goal. Okay, I'm not gonna just set a goal to look like I look on stage by next week. That's outrageous, right? Like, that's just not feasible. For me, I'm not focusing on weight loss. I'm not even really focusing on that so much. I'm more focusing on looking at the data of how consistent I am with my meals, with my sleep, and with my workouts. That's where I'm starting first. And maybe that doesn't sound that exciting, but it's honestly what gets results. So identify a couple small goals, little micro goals that are gonna reach you to your end goal. But focus first on those micro goals, because what happens is when we have this huge goal that feels so far out of reach, and then we have everything else going on, and it feels like we're not making progress towards it, it gets really overwhelming, right? And we feel like a failure, we feel like we're not good enough, and that usually ends up leading us to just kind of dive right off the deep end and forego our goals because we're like, what the hell? It's too far out of reach anyways. I'm not making progress. You get frustrated and you give up. And then you feel bad because you gave up. It's this like vicious cycle. So I'm here to tell you, and this is how I work with a lot of my clients too, is set the small goals. I'm happy to assist you with like big long-term goals. That's great. Let's get those down on paper. But realistically, let's think about some of those small, actionable goals that you can start working on right now that aren't too far out of reach. So to give you an example, yes, go take a nap if you work nights. Thank you for tuning in, though. I appreciate it. If you're someone that doesn't work out at all right now, maybe you haven't gone to the gym in a year, maybe you never go to the gym, but you want to lose weight. So you're going to commit yourself to working out 5 days a week. I personally feel like that's too much. If you're someone that never goes to the gym, saying you're going to go 5 days a week is probably going to feel super overwhelming. That's going to be a huge lifestyle change for you. Not saying it can't be done, but really think about how sustainable it is for you. Are you going to be able to jump right into that and sustain it? Because you haven't been doing it for the past year. So you have to really take a realistic look at your life. It may not look like someone else's. It may not look like the person on Instagram that you're scrolling through thinking their goals. Everyone's life, goals, and how we get there is going to look a little bit different. Carmen asked, how do you determine your main goal? And how do you know which is a real goal for you? Yeah, I mean, that really depends on each and every person because we're all at a different stage of life. I focus a lot here on more of the health aspect of things, being a registered dietitian, really loving fitness, and it can be confusing for any of us because there's so much out there, right? So it becomes hard to kind of really just wind down and sort out what do you focus on. For me, it was important to get an overall picture of my health. For me, that's looking at measurements, that's maybe looking at body fat, weight on the scale, it's looking at my dietary intake, that's looking at my fitness and what I'm doing in the gym. And then it also included laboratory values, going to the doctor, getting blood work done, and seeing kind of how things were looking there. And if you guys follow the channel, you know I'm like a little frustrated with doctors and healthcare and my lab work itself. But for me, it looks like I have hormonal issues I need to work on. I was on birth control for a lot of years, so coming off of birth control the past year and a half, my focus has been more hormonal regulation, making sure I'm not just putting myself into some severe caloric deficit that's going to further potentially mess with my hormone levels. That's kind of been more what's been important to me, instead of just thinking about like, well, I want to look a certain way, which is okay, totally okay. I was very motivated for a long time about my goals being focused on changing how my body looks, and lately it's been more important for me to focus on how my body's functioning internally. And then also with my fitness goals, I was noticing, I was getting annoyed because my goal was to progress with my weights each and every time I was in the gym. Like I wanted my squat to be heavier each and every time I was in the gym. I wanted my shoulder press to get heavier each and every time I was in the gym. But what I was finding was I was pushing myself so hard. I wasn't recovering. I wasn't spending enough time doing recovery type movements, and my body was feeling it, like hurting, severe back pain, tightness, and I wasn't putting enough focus on the actual recovery of my body. So it depends on where you're at. If I was in a bikini prep, all that goes out the door and I'm focusing on just getting as lean as possible to win on show day. But I'm not in a bikini prep. I'm just living my life. So for me, at this stage of my life, I know I'm at a healthy weight. I know I'm not an unhealthy person. So I really want to focus for me what's best for longevity of my life, to be as healthy as possible for as long as possible. So that's kind of a hard question to answer. I think it's really going to be something different for each and every one of you. If you work with a coach, that's something, a professional can kind of help you with. I think your goals should come from you because you're the one who's going to have to do the work to achieve it. So you shouldn't look to someone else and say, oh, that's their goal, I'm going to do it too. Think about you in your life and what you want to improve on, number one, and number two, what's realistic for you to improve on. Some people, depending on their lifestyle, like we have different stages of life where there's a lot going on. Maybe you have a newborn baby at home. Maybe you just switched jobs. There's going to be some different stressors that can happen. And maybe entering a weight loss phase just isn't a good time for you. That's okay. Even if you do want to lose weight, that's okay. Maybe you instead focus on maintenance. So you see what I'm saying? It's really going to be different based on each and every person and where you're at in your life. Cupcake for life, totally agree. No one knows your body better than you, and it is really frustrating because doctors don't really want to take the time to listen to you, and it feels like they don't want to believe you sometimes too, you know? Like, I failed to go to the doctor for several years because the last time I went, the doctor just looked at me and said, "Oh, you're a healthy young female. Like, what are you doing here?" And I'm like, "Sir, I'm here to get blood work. Like, you can't judge a book by its cover in terms of health." I think it's to hear a doctor say that. I'm like, are you kidding me? I don't want you as my doctor if you don't even realize that you can't tell if someone's healthy by looking at them on the outside. You know, just because someone looks like they're a healthy weight doesn't mean they're healthy. Just because someone's overweight doesn't mean they're unhealthy either. You know, the reverse is also not true. So, it is really frustrating. I am still kind of looking to maybe work with more of a functional doctor at this stage of the game to see if they'll maybe assist me a bit quicker with sorting things out. But in the meantime, for me, I'm just gonna focus on feeling my healthiest. I wanna feel good in the gym. I'm at a stage of my life where I don't wanna go have a leg workout and not be able to walk for 4 days. Like, that's just not where I'm at right now. Like, I want to have good workouts where I feel functional in and outside of the gym. And also just feel good about the body I'm in and feel a little more fit for the Olympia. So those are some of my goals for the week. I'm going to spend today, after I get off of here, I'm going to make sure I have some meals prepped for the week. Last weekend, Jason helped me. I have a vlog that's up that's like an hour long that has some meal prep in there. The dog's like cuddling my foot right now. Not that you can see that, but he is. And we did some meal prep last Sunday. We did it really quick, like just some basic stuff. We did lean turkey burger. We did beef. I think we did turkey and beef. So I cooked up a couple of proteins. We cooked up some vegetables. We had Brussels sprouts, broccoli rice. I think I did squash. I did oatmeal. Like, we just had a few different basic, staple, super simple foods that we got cooked up for the week. And let me tell you, it made the week so much easier. I had most stuff Tupperwared out. I had a big bowl of salad. I just kind of grabbed that. I had an idea of what my dinners were going to be. Yeah, not every week can be planned perfectly, but having some kind of plan going into your week will make things easier. There are some weeks where I eat out a lot, where I have lunch out and then I eat out for dinner. Maybe if you're someone like that, your goal may be to either reduce the number of times you're eating out, or maybe you just kind of hone in a bit more on what you get when you go out to eat. So that made my life a ton easier though this past week, so I plan to do that again.
Good drink?
I got water.
This is better. The bench chains are stuck in there. Let me try that.
Husband's always hooking me up.
I am.
One way or another.
I'm always taking care of her. You can drink them all of me?
You offered.
It's good. Your phone.
I was just reading a comment on here. My weight's dropped 76 pounds, but I don't feel like inches really has. When I was this weight before, I wore smaller clothes. What would cause this? Not lifting enough? It could be. There's a lot of details missing from there. I'd be curious to know how you lost the 76 pounds, how quickly you lost it. That's a lot of weight to lose. So if you lost that over a relatively quick period of time, the likelihood that some of that weight loss was muscle, that could be the case. Yeah, body composition is really a higher indicator over weight loss on the scale. Oh, 2 years. Okay, so that's a nice slow weight loss. Congrats on that. It can be hard when you're kind of comparing yourself in that manner, feeling like, why could I wear smaller clothes before? Your body composition may have changed. You know, it could have changed for the better. If you've lost 76 pounds, maybe you have more muscle now. Sometimes muscle fits differently in clothes. I know I can't wear the same clothes I wore 10 years ago at this weight because your girl's got a booty on her. And yeah, some of it's fat, but a lot of it's muscle too. And And lats. Like, I have really wide lats for being a petite person, but you know, over the past 10 years that I've been lifting for almost 10 years, not quite 10 years.
It's been 10 years.
10 years?
We started well-rounded when I was 31. I'm aging myself.
Yeah, so it depends. Like, I can't fit into those clothes anymore, but I feel like my body's changed for the good. So, you know, body composition makes a big difference. You just may be shaped differently now, but the one thing I would say is if you're not happy with how you're looking, something that took me a long time to learn was weightlifting for me transformed my body tenfold, like way more than doing all the cardio and under eating ever did, because that used to be my MO. It was like, I'll just do all the cardio and eat as little as possible. And like, you know, I don't know, I feel like I look so much different now, and not in a bad way. Like, I'm obviously a higher weight now, but I feel like I look stronger, healthier, more fit and athletic, and I love that. And I attribute that to eating more, not being so restrictive with my eating habits, not being so crazy in the gym, but focusing my efforts more on lifting and just being like smarter about my workouts, you know, not killing myself and over stressing my body. Because there is a period here where too much is not a good thing. We always think, you know, more is good, especially with fitness and workouts, but it does cause a high amount of oxidative stress and damage within your body and within your cells. So you have to kind of remember that, and there has to be a balance there too. At what point are you creating too much stress on the body from your workouts? So but yeah, congrats on your weight loss. Try to not get too frustrated with the comparison. I know that can be hard, but just focus on how far you've come right now, and you know, keep working towards your goals if you still continue to have goals. What's an ideal weight for a 5'2" female? Well, if you want to go according to, you know, the ideal body weight standards, which aren't very accurate and they don't really tell us much, you know, going through school, it was always 100 pounds for 5 feet, and then you add 5 more pounds for each inch. So one would think 110 pounds for 5'2" is the ideal weight. However, that's just weight and height. That doesn't tell you really much here. It doesn't tell you muscle mass, it doesn't tell you fat mass, it doesn't tell you where the fat is distributed, and all those things are much more important. So, you know, by using those ideal weights, someone who's a bodybuilder, it's gonna make them seem obese and unhealthy when that's not necessarily the case. So I don't take ideal weight too seriously. I would more look at kind of what weight you're at right now, and think more about what changes you could make in your lifestyle versus what weight you should be, if that makes sense. Louisa, get back to work. Save it, watch it later. I appreciate you. You have not dated leggings. You have not dated leggings. Two very beautiful time with leggings. Louis, I don't know what you're saying. I'm trying, I don't know. Do we have thoughts on GMO versus non-GMO? I mean, honestly,
We just talked about
I know. Look, I feel like there's so much out there you can get yourself bogged down with. I don't have strong thoughts towards it. I think we just need to simplify things for a lot of us and just focus on eating more whole foods in general. Just trying to eat things that are more natural, that come from the earth. I myself included, this is always something I strive for, but feeling like I don't have a lot of time leads me to eat more convenient style foods. And I'm sure a lot of people can relate to that too. But yeah, I would just say focus more on just eating more whole foods if you can. Having the majority of your meals be encompassed by whole foods. And it's not to say you can't eat things that aren't processed, or, you know, if you can do all non-GMO, great. But just because you do all non-GMO doesn't mean you're going to be healthy, doesn't mean you're going to be a healthy body weight, doesn't mean you're going to feel good, right? So there's so much more to that story than focusing on one little area. But good question. Yeah, I agree with you, Lakin. Like I think that's what's hard for me. I haven't done a bikini prep in well over 2 years now, and I feel so much better when I'm not on prep. Although I've had like the last 2 preps I did were, I wouldn't say they were relatively easy, but they were much better than past preps I had done. But just in general, mentally and physically, I feel so much better not in a bikini prep. I think that's what kind of has kept me from wanting to do another one, because I just am in such a good place mentally and physically that I don't want to rock the boat with that. So I think a lot of people can relate to that, because I think it's not the prep that's hard. I think it's the after prep. It's transitioning back to the weight, the weight gain, the eating choices, and the reversing, and that gets really hard, and I've never perfected that. Bruce Wayne is doing great. He's down here sleeping. We think what happened was he was really horny, you guys.
He was.
He went to daycare, and there was a female dog, and he got a scent of the tang, okay? And he couldn't get it off his mind, and he came home, and he was crazy and nuts and wouldn't eat, and it was like he was a drug addict looking for his next fix that he never got. So we didn't really figure it out for a little bit, but Jason removed his leash that had the scent on it from the daycare, and when he moved that leash into the garage, like you could already tell he started to kind of like calm down a bit. We do have him on a medicine. It's kind of like a probiotic antibiotic powder. It's not a bad antibiotic. It doesn't harm his gut. It actually helps his gut. So we did start him on that to kind of help with regulation of his gut bacteria. And so I don't know if it's been a combination of the two. We kept him at a daycare for a while. He's been eating like a champ. His weight's back up. He's better than ever. He's more majestic than ever. And yeah, he's doing really great. So we brought him back to daycare this past week, and he just lived his best life. So
his buddies were there.
He is not neutered, actually. He actually had one of his testicles didn't drop. We waited as long as we could, and it never dropped. So because one of them didn't drop and was stuck up in there, we did have surgery to have that removed, because it was kind of a health risk leaving it up inside him where it was going to be warm and develop moisture and could have potential for issues down the road. So that one was removed. He's now here, one bald.
That's gigantic.
One giant ball.
I think it's making up for the last one.
I don't know what we would do if there was
That's
two.
It's like the size of my fist.
I feel so bad when it's like stuffed between his legs, and it's just like
popping out like
it looks like it's gonna explode. I hope nobody's eating lunch right now. Yeah.
Boo. Here. This will quench your thirst.
So anyways,
Let me share what the special drink is.
Special drink is a combination of MTS machine fuel in Blue Raz.
Yep.
Blue Raz, but you can use any machine fuel or BCAAs, and then we mix it with a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar and a tablespoon of lemon juice. And if you're someone that like wants to throw apple cider vinegar into the mix, but you don't like it or want to just take a shot of it, this is a real easy way to like throw it in there, and it tastes so good. Like it makes it taste like BCAAs taste good by themselves anyways, but you add this combination in there and it's really, really refreshing.
Bruce loves being like around for video.
He does. People probably think like I stage Bruce Wayne every time I have a video. I don't. He wants to be in here and he wants to be sleeping and cuddling.
Give that to me so it's like a shot.
Okay.
Your glasses in the shot. Take that shot. This is weird. Thanks.
Anyways, I think that's good.
What's good?
I think I chit-chatted with the amount of energy I have. Yes, I will be doing a Buff Bunny haul. I will, and I'm so excited. My stuff comes tomorrow, I believe. So I feel like a little late on the game because I don't have any of the items yet. But I have seen some sneak peeks of stuff, and so far my initial thoughts are I love it, especially the electric color because it's like a lime green, and I'm really into those bright pops of colors. The Game Changer bag's coming back out. So I have the old Game Changer bag, but the new one has a ton of new modifications. So I'm really excited to get the new items. I always give you guys an honest review. I don't have to say anything about it in particular. It's just they send me the items and I can pretty much say what I want. They're open to feedback. So I can't wait to do that video and get everything.
It'll be up Wednesday.
Probably be up Wednesday for you guys. I did go to the fair on Friday. I'm still recovering from it. My stomach is a mess. Had a good time, but yeah, that vlog, the fair vlog, will be up Monday.
Yep.
So.
Monday.
I like.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow. So.
Live video next Saturday at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time.
Yeah, so I'll also, now that we kind of got this figured out a little bit, if you guys like the live videos, let me know. Next Saturday, I'm going to do a live video, so that'll be around 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. 12:30?
12:30.
Okay, so 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, we're going to do a live video. So if you guys want to mark your calendar for that, I'll be here, do a little something special next Saturday. So I hope you guys will join me. Thank you for joining me today and bearing with us through the sound issues. I hope you guys enjoyed this and a little something different, right?
That's right. We're gonna try new things, right?
Gotta keep it new, keep it spicy. So I think that's it from me, guys. I hope you guys have an incredible day. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I hope you head into the new week feeling good, feeling motivated. Have your goals laid out and let's crush them this week.